Okay, playing a game with white. I'm playing a guy rated 2157. So we have a French, which turned into a Caro-Kann. So you would study this under the Caro-Kann, not the French, even though it starts with a French move order. Important distinction. Now you would study this under the Taimanov, not the Paulson-Kann, even though he played e6. So now we're playing a Taimanov at knight b5. Very important to keep track of transpositions when you play chess. And study the opening that it becomes. Don't study the opening that it started as. I cannot emphasize this enough. Okay, so now we're going to play one of my quirky little sacrificial lines. The fact that my opponent's rated 2157. Actually, the 2157s, a lot of times they'll find it. I don't know why. They'll find like the best reply sometimes because they're not trying to refute it. Although Queen A5 is not the best reply. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I feel like the GMs, they're the ones that lose like really quickly in these positions somehow. But in this case, he's just completely dead. He's doesn't have any queen move that doesn't lose the queen except queen d8, and then he has to sack his queen there or get mated. He'll play king d7 and get mated to queen g4. I'll pre-move knight takes d7 just in case he finds the best move, but honestly, if he's going to sack his queen, he should just resign. So usually they'll pick king d7 because sacking the queen feels more like resignation than a move. But yeah, king d7 resigns. Yeah, queen a5 check in these lines is usually a pretty big mistake, but like sometimes when I play against the lower rated guys, like the 2100s, they'll realize that maybe something's afoot, and so yeah, he just decided to resign. On just to show you, I'll just do the analysis board real quick. On king d7, queen g4 mate, well f5 and then queen f5 mate is game over, and the only other legal move is to sack the queen. Queen a5 is a big mistake. A lot of times, like these lower rated guys, they'll actually find the best move, which is just like bishop e6, and then you have this knight to c7 check, king d7 takes, and this move is interesting. My preparation is bishop b5, and there's a lot of stuff here. Like the computer assessment says that this position is better for black, but the reality is if you go deeper with that computer preparation, it's the position is very unclear. But this version, like this sacrifice with the bishop on f4, I would say that this is not 100% like sound, but there's another version of this that you can play against the Lowenthal move order that is probably 100% sound. So like that would be like c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, cd4, knight d4, e5 here, and this is the Lowenthal move order, and then a6, and then I like this version of the sacrifice. And actually, when you do the deep preparation on this, like after f6, knight d5, ab5, and then bishop e3, it's not at all clear that black has any kind of advantage here. The computer gives advantage black or whatever, but when you start going through the variations and you do the really deep analysis on this incredibly complicated position, it's not clear that black is even fully equalizing in any particular variation, in any line at all. It's not clear that black is fully equalizing. So this is kind of interesting territory to go into. Like if you increase the depth of the computer, it starts changing its mind. It comes up with different moves. It changes its assessment periodically. So like it gives bishop e6 here, and I have to set this to I have to do a different depth setting for this because but you'll see the assessment will actually go down over time as you take a look at more and more positions. But it's very entertaining stuff. Basically there's threats of bishop b6 followed by knight c7 followed by knight a8, but there's also threats on the light square beginning with bishop b5, bishop c4, etc. So anyways, all told, not a super interesting game. I mean, it just kind of ended in my prep, and my opponent had to resign because he was going to get mated, but I mean, that's what happens sometimes. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you learned something new about chess, and I hope you can use some of these ideas in your own games. Thank you very much for watching.